I wasn't the jealous type. I always thought jealousy was weakness. Insecurity. The kind of thing guys without confidence get stuck in. I hated it. I trusted her, or at least, I thought I did. Her name was Mia. We'd been dating a little over a year. At first, it felt easy. Natural. She was supportive, funny, independent. Never gave me a reason to question her. But somewhere around month 10, things shifted. Nothing huge. Just small changes. Like how she stopped calling me after work. Or how she suddenly started staying at her sister's place a lot more often. She said her sister had broken up with her boyfriend and needed company. That made sense. I knew her sister. Emotional. Dramatic. I bought it. Until the third sleepover in 2 weeks. That night, something just didn't sit right. It was around 8 p.m. I texted her, "How's your sister?" She replied, still crying. "We're just watching movies and eating ice cream." But something felt off. So I decided to go for a drive. I wasn't planning to confront her. I wasn't even planning to stop. I just wanted to drive by, maybe catch a glimpse of her car in the driveway. Just something to help me sleep better. Her sister's place was about 20 minutes away. When I pulled up, I parked across the street. Lights were off. No movement inside. The house looked completely empty. I sat there for a couple of minutes, trying to convince myself maybe they were just sleeping early. Then I realized something. Her car wasn't there. I called her. She didn't answer. I waited 5 minutes. Tried again. Straight to voicemail. So I drove back, this time heading toward her place. I told myself maybe she went home to grab something. I wasn't even sure what I was doing at that point. I just had this pressure in my chest that wouldn't go away. When I got close to her building, I saw it immediately. Her car. Parked out front. Engine still warm. No hesitation this time, I parked, walked up, and buzzed the door. No answer. I texted her, "Hey, are you okay? Just checking in." No response. After about 10 minutes, I buzzed again. This time, someone let me in, random neighbor, I guess. I took the stairs. Her unit was on the 3rd floor. When I got to her door, I heard laughter. Not from the TV. Real voices. A man's voice. Hers. Laughing. Talking low. I stood there, frozen. Fist in the air. Not knocking. Not yet. Part of me wanted to turn around. Leave. Never speak to her again. The other part? Needed to know. So I knocked. The silence inside was instant. Like someone hit mute on the whole apartment. Then footsteps. She opened the door just a crack. When she saw me, her face dropped. "What are you doing here?" she asked, like I was the one who'd crossed a line. "I thought you were at your sister's," I said calmly. She stammered. Said she came home early. That her sister fell asleep and she didn't want to wake her. Then a voice from inside the apartment said, "Is everything okay?" A guy's voice. Deep. Calm. Comfortable. She turned around, eyes wide, and said, "Yeah, just give me a minute." I just looked at her. And asked, "How long has this been going on?" She said nothing. Didn't deny it. Didn't cry. Just looked down at the floor. That told me everything. I nodded, turned around, and walked away. She didn't follow me. She didn't call out. She just closed the door. And that was it. A year of memories, undone in 5 minutes of silence. I got home and deleted every picture of us from my phone. Blocked her number. Told my friends we broke up, no details. Because honestly, I didn't even want revenge. I just wanted peace. It's been 6 months now. Haven't heard from her since. Don't want to. But I'll say this. If someone gives you a reason to doubt them, pay attention. Not obsessively. Not with paranoia. But don't let someone make you feel guilty for noticing patterns. For asking questions. The truth doesn't hide behind locked phones and vague excuses. It's honest. Clear. Solid. And if they ever make you feel like the crazy one, you're probably the one seeing clearly. She told me it was just a work friend. Until I checked the hotel app. We were together for 2.5 years. And to be fair, I never thought I'd be the guy who gets cheated on. Not because I'm special or perfect, just because I thought I was careful. Thought I picked the right person. Her name was Ashley. We met at a networking event. She was confident, sarcastic, the smartest person in the room, and she knew it. I liked that. She challenged me. We started dating a month later and moved in 6 months after that. She worked in PR, long hours. Business dinners. Travel. I didn't mind. I trusted her. At least, I thought I did. Things started to shift subtly, as they always do. She started smiling at her phone a little too often. Her outfits for work meetings became more polished, more effort than usual. I'm not saying she can't dress up, but I noticed. We notice everything, we just pretend we don't. Then there was this guy. Ethan. She mentioned him a few times casually. Said he worked for a client. Called him harmless and super married. Nothing to worry about. But the way she said his name stuck with me. I remember one Friday night, she told me she had to stay at a hotel across town after a late dinner meeting, said she didn't want to drive all the way home after drinking. Again, I said okay. She had a track record of being independent. I wasn't going to be the controlling boyfriend. Still, I didn't sleep well that night. The next morning, I opened the app we used when we traveled together, a hotel booking app we both had access to. Mostly because we'd shared rewards points before. Her account was still logged in. And there it was. The reservation. 2 guests. 1 room. King bed. Made under her name. It wasn't even hidden. My stomach dropped. I stared at it for a long time, hoping it was a glitch. A mistake. Anything. Then I saw the special request note. Please make sure the wine is in the room before arrival. I didn't call her. Didn't text her. I waited. She came home that afternoon like nothing happened. Hugged me. Kissed me. Smelled like hotel soap. How was your night? I asked. She said, exhausting. You know how those things go. I nodded. I asked, you stay alone? She didn't hesitate. Yeah, of course. That was it. That was the moment she truly lost me, not because she cheated, but because she looked me in the eyes and lied without flinching. That's when I knew she'd done it before. This wasn't the first time. Just the first time I caught her. That evening, while she was showering, I packed a small bag. Left my key on the kitchen counter. Walked out without saying a word. She called me later, confused. Asked if I was okay. I said, I know about the hotel. I saw the reservation. You didn't even try to hide it. Silence. Then. It didn't mean anything. I hung up. What do you even say to that? It didn't mean anything is what you say after you spill a drink, not after you betray someone who trusted you completely. She sent a few more texts that week. Said she wanted to talk like adults. Said she made a huge mistake. I didn't respond. I don't need closure from someone who had a whole night to choose honesty and chose a lie instead. Now. I sleep alone, but peacefully. Sometimes I still think about it. Not with anger, just a quiet sense of disappointment. Not even in her. In myself. For ignoring my instincts. For convincing myself that doubt equals insecurity. Here's what I learned. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. If you have to go digging for the truth, the relationship is already gone. And the scariest thing about betrayal isn't the moment it happens, it's realizing how normal they acted right after. She said I could trust her. So I tested that. We'd been together for a year and 8 months when I started to feel it. That gut-level tension you don't want to admit is there. Something felt off. I couldn't explain it. She didn't do anything obviously wrong. No lipstick on the collar, no secret phone calls. Just small changes. Less eye contact. A bit more guarded. A lot more time scrolling on her phone, always turned screen down. Her name was Sophie. She was sweet. Thoughtful. A little chaotic, in a good way. I liked how spontaneous she was. But after a while, that free spirit started feeling more like someone who never really wanted to be held accountable. I noticed she started hanging out with a guy from work more often, Jason. Always Jason this, Jason that. I didn't overreact. I didn't accuse her. I even joked about it once, so when's the wedding? She laughed. Said I was being ridiculous. That he had a girlfriend. That I needed to chill. So I did. But something in me didn't. Fast forward 3 weeks. She said she was going out for a girls' night. Told me she'd be home late, not to wait up. Again, I said okay, like a guy who trusts his girlfriend should. That night I stayed in. Ordered pizza. Played some FIFA. And around midnight, I saw that her location on Snapchat, which had always been visible before, was suddenly turned off. That had never happened. Ever. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I called my friend Luke. Luke had met her a few times, and more importantly, he lived 15 minutes from the bar she said she was going to. I asked him if he could stop by. Not to confront. Just to check. Just to see if she was actually there. He agreed. Took him about 25 minutes to get there. I was trying not to freak out when he called me and said, "She's not here, man. I've been around the place twice." I asked, "Are you sure?" He said, "I know what she looks like. Her friends aren't here either. It's mostly couples. Chill vibe. She's not here." I sat in silence for a while. Then opened Instagram. She had posted a story 2 hours earlier, just her cocktail glass, dimly lit, captioned, "My girl's 2 hearts." I checked the background. It wasn't the bar she told me she was going to. It was a restaurant across town. A nicer one. One she once said she'd only go to on a real date. So I made a decision. I drove there. I wasn't sure what I'd find. Honestly, part of me hoped I was wrong. That I'd show up and she'd be with friends. That I'd feel like an idiot and laugh it off later. But I didn't laugh. Because when I got there and walked past the big front windows, I saw her. Sitting at a table. With Jason. Leaning in close. Laughing. Touching his arm. There were no other people with them. Just the two of them. A bottle of wine. Candlelight. And that look on her face, the one I used to think was only for me. I stood outside for maybe a minute. Then I walked in. She saw me immediately. Her smile froze. Jason turned around and looked confused. Probably thought I was her brother or something. I looked at her and said, "So this is girls' night?" She started saying something, I don't remember what. I didn't let her finish. I just looked at Jason and said, "Good luck, man." Then I left. She followed me out, tried to talk. I told her I wasn't angry. I was just done. I'd asked for honesty. She gave me lies. She made me feel like the paranoid one, and I was just right. That's the worst part about being cheated on. It's not the betrayal. It's that they let you question your sanity while they were doing it. She texted me later that night. And the next morning. Long paragraphs about how it wasn't what it looked like, that they were just talking, that I overreacted. I didn't reply. Because here's what I know now. If someone makes you feel the need to double-check where they are, you already have your answer. Real love doesn't hide behind turned-off locations and half-lies. Real love doesn't make you feel like you're losing your mind for asking honest questions. So yeah, I tested her trust. And she failed.